We have on the show attorney Jess Falsis himself. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Matters.
Good morning, Miss Gretchen. Good morning to everyone.
Attorney, unang-una, no, how did you first learn about the complaint against you? Did you learn it before it was brought out to the public?
Well, I learned it. Like everyone else, no, from media reports, like your station as well, no. But there were already feelers, no, or may mga nagsabi na sa akin na baka kakasuhan ako weeks ago pa. I thought it was going to be cyber libel, pero apparently ang pinili ni Senator Cheese ay disbarment, which is perplexing because if he says in the complaint that may posts are defamatory, dapat kinasuhan niya ako ng cyber libel din. Oo.
Bakit kaya sa tingin niyo ito ang kanyang napili sa inyong haka-haka po?
Well, because cyber libel is a higher standard of evidence, no? It's proof beyond reasonable doubt to convict me, and of course sa fiscal pa lang mataas na din yung standard ngayon. Hindi na tulad dati, it's a reasonable certainty of conviction. So siguro duda siya na makakasuhan niya ako ng successful because no fiscal or no judge will agree with him that my posts are defamatory because, Ms. Gretchen, no, I haven't gotten the full copy of the complaint, and technically a disbarment case is confidential. But I can only react to what the media has reported, no? So I'm not reacting to the disbarment case per se, no? But if based on the media reports that my words dun sa mga posts ko, for example, na worst Senate President in history, that is a political opinion. Kahit ba abogado, hindi na pala pwede magkaroon ng opinion na sino ang worst president in history, worst vice president in history, and the worst Senate President in history. That's a political opinion that cannot be defamatory or that cannot be undignified. Sabi niya, the profession needs to have dignity. There is no undignified or indignity there. Because that is a political opinion, and I am just upholding the Constitution, no? He is the one who mangled the Constitution when he did not interpret and apply the word forthwith properly. So when I defend the Constitution by calling him the worst Senate President, because Article 11, public trust, public office is public trust, that cannot be defamatory. That cannot be undignified.
Attorney, tingin niyo po ba yun yung post that struck a chord? Apart from that, no, tinawag niyo rin po siyang bulok na keso. Pero you've also had several posts, not just about him, but also about Heart Evangelista, citing that she's never been recognized as top taxpayer. It makes no sense how she can afford all of her branded luxury goods unless, of course, she has a generous husband. Oo.
I don't really think it's actually Miss Hart that triggered Senator Cheese, no? In fact, I would post it was Lawrence Lubiano and my consistent post questioning his relationships with contractors as campaign donors that triggered it. Kasi unfortunately, many people talaga takot magsalita, no? Because madami talagang concerns pag magsasalita ka. There are consequences. And this is an example of a consequence, no? People in power don't want to be questioned. You know, even if it's legitimate, they don't want to be questioned because their reputations will be affected, their re-election chances will be affected. Kaya ako naman kasi, Miss Gretchen, kahit na maliit ako na tao, hindi naman ako nag-aral ng abogasya para talaga kumita from being a lawyer. I studied the law. The reason why I became a lawyer is to be able to understand the law and question the powerful. Because sa Pilipinas, unfortunately, Miss Gretchen, no, it's really mostly lawyers and the law that is used as an access or a tool to power. Ang daming mga abogado nagiging politiko. And, you know, that's related to the job of a lawmaker. Connected naman talaga. Pero, ang abogado talaga, ginagamit niya ang batas usually in a weaponized manner so that they can gain access to power. And this is an example of weaponization of power because he, as a senator of the Republic, and ako, kahit lawyer ako, I'm just an ordinary person na gusto niyang i-silence because not because of the political opinions na feeling niya undignified or feeling niya parang hindi appropriate sa profession, but because he wants to make an example of me. Na wag nyo nang questionin yung mga, or wag nyong tirahin araw-araw yung mga issues tungkol kay Senator Cheese. Paano ko naman hindi maki-question yun? Paano hindi maki-question ng ibang tao yun? Laging mayroong balita. We can react to news. That is freedom of speech. And if I am threatened or cowed in fear by this case, then that would defeat the purpose of the Constitution. And I will not be cowed because, itong disbarment case na to, this is a harassment suit. In other countries, itatapon agad itong kaso na to because it's there's such a thing as called the SLAPP, SLAP, Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation, and that is this disbarment case. It's trying to strategically silence me against public participation in terms of criticizing a public official na ang dami namang maling ginawa, like budget insertions na questionable sa source of God, accepting campaign donations, and then yung kay Ms. Hart, that is just tangential. That is the consequence of him being a public officer na, by the way, baka nakakalimutan kasi niya kung na-hurt man siya, nasa Code of Ethics and Standards for Public Officers yung exhortation ng batas on simple living. Public officials and their families should follow simple living, avoid extravagant display of wealth or ostentatious display of wealth. That is in the RA 6713, if I remember correctly, no? Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officers. So, yung kay Ms. Hart, nakokonek yan kasi asawa siya ni Senator Cheese kahit pa hindi politiko mismo si Ms. Hart.
Well, is this the first time that you have been you are receiving disbarment complaint?
No, because we are very outspoken, right? We are very outspoken. Sorry, I am very outspoken. So, naturally, I have a lot of enemies or haters, no? And I understand them. I would understand talaga why they would get triggered or why they would hate me, no? But I will always resist any attempt to silence me. So, yung mga disbarment cases ko nun, sinasagot ko lang talaga. We will just have to go through the process because that is something that should not even be publicized. Miss Gretchen, no? Yun ang problema ni Senator Cheese. He is a lawyer as well.
So
And
ano po nangyari doon? Nilabas po sa media yon. Nag-feed po sa media?
Yes, if I got my information correctly, he sent, or his office sent, no? Siyempre, hindi naman si Cheese mismo mag-distribute. Pero, based on my information, the office of Senator Cheese distributed verified copies of the complaint. And that is a no-no. Because Rule 139B of the Rules of Court strictly say disbarment proceedings are confidential except for the final decision of the Supreme Court. So even the mere filing and publicizing the filing, hindi lang yung yung what's happening during the proceedings. And giving copies of the complaint are a violation of the rules of court.
Will you file anything against the senator because of that?
Well, I don't need to file anything because whatever I need to raise, I can raise it in my answer or compliance.
Okay, so doon na lang po
I
ilalagay.
don't need to file anything except my answer.
Okay. Dalawa kasi yung counts dito, yung propriety at saka yung fidelity doon sa kanyang complaint. One is yung propriety, dapat daw you violated the ethical standards expected of a Filipino lawyer citing your behavior towards another lawyer. And the other one, fidelity, is that you use social media instead of the proper avenue. How do you understand those two complaints?
That is ridiculous. Imagine if the Supreme Court will sanction me and agree with him kung tama si Senator Cheese. That will create a precedent na lawyers, lahat ng lawyers pala, cannot say the word shameless against a corrupt public officer. They cannot give a political judgment or opinion that a certain public official is the worst public official in a certain position. Hindi lang naman si Senate President yan eh. That means the Speaker. Bawal na din sabihin, worst speaker ever. Bawal na din sabihin, worst president ever.
Pero yun na
worst
po ba yung pinakamaanghang na salitang nabitawan ninyo sa social media?
You know, regardless of kung ano man yung pinakamaanghang na sinabi ko, wala ako sinabing pagmumura. Wala ako sinabing undignified. Lahat ng mga sinabi ko, kahit na maanghang yan, Miss Gretchen, they are pointed, satirical, sarcastic, sharp language. Hindi naman pwede yung abogado, kahit abogado yan. Kung galit siya sa corruption, hindi pwedeng hindi pointed or sharp yung language. Kasi na-affect kami ng Ondoy, Miss Gretchen, no? Yung family ko, we had to evacuate. Talagang nag-swimming kami sa baha, mga 4 feet to 4.5 feet of flood water. We had to evacuate noong Ondoy so that, you know, kasi baka umangat pa sa second floor. Hindi na namin alam yun ng family kung aangat sa second floor. So we had to evacuate. Na Ondoy talaga kami. Malaking perwisyo yun. And to know na may ghost project or ghost projects pala ng flood control ang dahilan bakit tuloy-tuloy tayong binabaha. Ang abogado ba? Lahat ng abogado, hindi lang ako, hindi na pala pwede magalit sa corruption kung ganon. Hindi na pala kami pwede magkaroon ng freedom of speech to express. Yes. Even on social media. Kasi saan ba kami mag-e-express? Hindi ko ba siyang ipa-impeach? Hindi naman. They can, you know, senators can only be voted out through the ballot box. Hindi naman sila pwede ipa-impeach. Anong gusto niya? Mag-file ako ng ethics complaint? But I'm just an ordinary lawyer. Baka kala niya, may backer ako. Baka kala niya, malakas ako. I don't have those kind of things, no? May consequences then. If I file an ethics complaint, and by the way, wala namang chair ang ethics complaint or ethics committee ngayon. So, how can I file an ethics complaint? Wala namang chairman sa Senate ngayon. Bakante yun, ha? If you check it. Kasi nagkaroon ng kudita sa Senate, di ba? Pero, going back to my point, so, ang abogado pala, dahil lang abogado ka, hindi ka na Pilipino, hindi ka na nalulunod.
Attorney, puntahan na rin natin, kasi nandito na rin po kayo. Itong kanyang speech kahapon dito sa plenary floor, citing, the first slide was ang script at Zarzuela ni Martin Romualdez. Your reaction to that and him naming that who must not be named. Kayo po ba ay satisfied doon sa kanyang paliwanag?
The biggest question for Senator Cheese is, bakit hindi niya kasuhan si Speaker Martin? Kung si Speaker Martin ang mastermind ng script, so sino ba yung pinabasa ng script ni Speaker Martin against Senator Cheese? Si Yusek Roberto Bernardo, na hindi din naman kinasuhan ni Senator Cheese, either ng perjury or ng libel. Bakit ako ang kakasuhan niya?
Yun nga din ang isang mga tanong ko eh. Nauna po kayo.
Niya, he would file cases against his accusers. I am not an accuser. I just commentate kung ano mang nilalabas na balita ng News 5, ng Bilyonaryo News, ng ibang outlets na nagsasabi tungkol sa budget insertion. By the way, yung contractor donations, galing naman yun sa PCIJ, galing naman yun sa Rappler. Hindi naman ako. Nagre-report lang, nagko-commentate lang ako dun sa report. Pero yung 160 million kickback niya, na allegedly ay script, from Speaker Martin Romualdez, that is from DPWH Yusek Roberto Bernardo. Bakit hindi niya kasuhan si Roberto Bernardo nag-file na ng affidavit at supplemental affidavit si Bernardo? Kung hindi naman pala totoo, kasuhan niya ng perjury because that is under oath na nag-testify si Bernardo sa Senate. That is a sworn affidavit as well na nagpanotarize siya or nanumpa siya before a fiscal sa DOJ. So bakit hindi niya kasuhan? And then i-connect niya si Speaker Martin na scriptwriter. Ang problema, ang kaya lang niya, maliliit na tao tulad ko.
I guess one of the questions and points he brought up, bakit puro daw senador itong mga binabatikos, no? O kaya ini-implicate at hindi yung mga congressman. Have you written also about Martin Romualdez and other congressmen?
Well, I've written about Zaldico kasi grabe talaga yan. Kay Speaker Martin, I had to be careful as well because hindi ko pa nakikita yung evidence. Ang problema kay Senator Cheese, meron siyang mga CCTV footages na siya mismo pumupunta sa House for the budget insertion ng BICAM noong November 30 Bonifacio holiday. Based on insiders, di ba? Si Senator Grace po kasi, nag-deny ng involvement sa budget insertion sa BICAM or after the BICAM sa small committee. That is on record. Nag-testify na yan si Senator Grace Poe sa ICI. That's Senator Grace Poe's side as the finance chair of the Senate. On the other hand naman, syempre si Speaker Martin denies hindi daw siya nagpa-participate sa small BICAM. So what insiders say, and I'm citing here Deputy Speaker Ronaldo Puno kasi siya yung source ng balita, na ang talagang pinaka-small committee ng budget insertions ay Zaldico tsaka Chis Escudero. So, kay Zaldico, matagal ko na yung kinikriticize because kawawa mga Bicolano dyan. Ang party list system kasi na-hijack ng mga contractors, congressman tractors, no? Yung mga contractors na congressman. Kaya siya yung naging APRO chair. Oh, but that is beside the question kasi, Ms. Gretchen, no? When a senator would say, bakit hindi dinadamay ang mga congressman? Hindi na nila problema yun. I-defend na lang nila yung sarili nila sa sarili nilang accusation because ang taong bayan, like me, no, hindi naman limited ang panawagan. September 21, nag-rally ang tao. Ako pumunta ako doon. Ang panawagan doon is not about a specific personality. It is about everyone. Lahat ng sangkot dapat managot. Ikulong na yan, mga kurakot, walang specific na tao. So, it's always a red herring, fallacious fallacy yung ginagawa ni Senator Cheese by saying, baka kawawa naman kami mga senador, walang congressman. Eh, meron namang mga congressman na pinag-uusapan. Wala, si speaker naman, pinag-uusapan din yan. Hindi yun totoo na kawawa naman kami, mga senador, kami lang pinag-uusapan. I-defend mo na lang sarili mo, hindi pa niya sinasagot, bakit siya nagka-160 million kickback. Never niya sinagot. Di ba si DPWH Yusek Roberto Bernardo sinabi daw ni Senator Cheese, alam ko ang galawan nyo sa DPWH. Anong sagot doon ni Senator Cheese? Up until now,
Hindi
wala.
niya sinasagot. Oo. Pati rin ang kanyang, I guess, connection with Maynard Ngu. Yun din nga aking napansin. Ang sabi niya kahapon, when it comes to that, mismong si Yusek Bernardo na ang nagsabi na wala siyang direktang pakikipag-usap kay Senator Cheese. I think that was the only thing that he said in response to the accusations. But moving on, no, you had another post, yung no to state witness, Discayas are the most guilty. Sino ba para sa'yo ang qualified dito maging state witness? Kasi parang lahat nag-a-apply.
Well, as to the Discayas, no, I can only speak for the Discayas kasi itong mga DPWH na engineer, medyo bago ito. The reason why I can say confidently na hindi state witness level or they don't deserve that is because meron na tayong precedents sa Napoles case. Napoles is actually also a contractor. Similar yan, kaso hindi lang construction industry si Madam. Contractor siya because kino-contract out kay Napoles noon yung pag-implement ng pork barrel or PDAF ng mga senators or congressmen like maghahanap ng NGO na magiging beneficiary. Pero ang ginawa ni Napoles, ghost beneficiaries, ghost names, peke lahat, no? Yun yung binulgar ni Ben Horluy. So she was also a contractor. In this case, ganun din, contractor din ang mga Diskaya companies and finifake nila yung completion ng project, ghost project, kung hindi man ghost, substandard, pero may mga ghost. Madami nang napatunayan na Diskaya projects na ghost. So, same status sila in the sense na they are one of the most guilty. By the way, when we say most guilty kasi baka akala ng tao singular. Kasi ang most generally we relate it to singular. But under the law, there can be more than one person na most guilty. Kasi like ito, mag-asawa, Sara Diskaya, Pacifico Diskaya, more than one ka na kagad. So sino pa yung ibang most guilty? Siyempre yung mga senators or congressmen na nag-collude or ginamit ang mga Diskayas, quote-unquote, para magkaroon ng kickback. When I say ginamit, hindi din naman ginamit talaga ang mga Diskayas. Because nagpagamit sila willingly. Sila yung may scheme. Sila yung may modus or system to implement the kickback system. So, they cannot be state witnesses if we follow Napoles. Napoles was not state witness, therefore, the Diskayas should not be state witnesses.
So the engineers, pwede sila sa tingin po ninyo?
at the very least, the assistant district engineer kasi may mas mataas na boss. So by logic, hindi siya most guilty. The district engineer, baka kasi nga, it might be Yusek Roberto Bernardo who's the most guilty kung siya yung mastermind or mga bata niya kasi quote-unquote daw yung mga BGC boys. It depends.
Okay. I want to get your thoughts on Orly Guteza, yung kanyang yun nga yung peking notaryo daw, nasabi ng lawyer never signed that, called it fraudulent. Does that nullify his testimony or iba yun kasi nag-oath na siya before the Senate?
If we're talking about technicalities, no, nullification hindi. It doesn't nullify his testimony because tama naman yung mga sinasabi ng mga defenders niya na when he testifies under oath sa Senate, he gives the testimony anew. So kahit ma-disregard yung affidavit, valid pa din yung testimony na verbally sinabi niya. Kaso, ang problema, if si Orly Guteza ang nagpanotarize niyan because he claims siya nagpanotarize. Tinanong siya ni Senator Marcoleta, pinanotarize mo ba? Pumunta ka ba sa notary? Tinanong din niya na, pinaulit verbally. So, he was also saying that under oath. If that is false, ganito kasi yan. Hindi ko nagagamitin yung popular ngayon. Popular na kasi ginagamit ng iba yung falsus in uno, falsus in omnibus, falsity in one, falsity in all, no? Ang point ko lang dyan, if totoo na finalsify niya, assuming that to be the case. If he has the capacity and the audacity to falsify the notarization, then what else does he have the capacity and audacity to falsify? Maybe his testimony. So, hindi na nullify yung testimony niya, but his entire credibility is put into
Pero
question.
hindi ba parang actually, napapatanong ako kasi bakit naman pipikein yung pagdonotaryo? Hindi ba usually madali lang yun? And staff, usually it's not the main lawyer but it's the staff who does the notary work. Your thoughts, bakit kaya nagkaroon ng kaguluhan doon?
I've been hearing that, no, talagang laging nasasabi, hindi naman lawyer yung nagno-notarize. Ano yun, just to remind the public, maling-mali po yun. Ako lagi din po ako nagpapa-notarize. For example, kasi may mga nagpapatulong sa barangay, I have to give an affidavit and then ipapa-notarize ko yun. I have to personally appear. I always make sure, meron akong paboritong notary dito sa may barangay namin. I make sure I personally appear. And I make sure na makikita ako ni lawyer. Kahit may secretary siya, si secretary mag-aayos ng lahat, magsastamp, etc. Pero, kailangan makita ka nung notary public. Para makita niya, ma-attest niya, nabasa din niya yung notary bill, ay yung document mo.
Yung lawyer. Oo.
The notary will get a copy of your document na pinapanotarize. Kailangan, makita mo din na si lawyer, si notary, kumuha siya ng copy. At kahit tiningnan man lang niya, hindi naman niya kailangan basahin lahat, 10 pages kagad, there and then on the spot, no? Pero basta may copy siya, chinek man lang niya yung pangalan mo, etc., etc. Kailangan personal yan. So, hindi na talaga uso. Medyo siguro 1990s, 2000s. Yung secretary lang, pwede na.
But giving benefit of the doubt, giving benefit of the doubt to Orly Guteza, maaaring nagkaroon din ng negligence itong attorney. No, nagsabi na hindi peke yan. Is that a possibility also?
Kasi syempre, ako as a lawyer, sabi nga ni Senator Cheese, treat other lawyers fairly. Mas bibigyan ko ng benefit of the doubt yung abogado na kung sinabi niya, pineke yung kanyang notarization, sa ngayon, mas maniniwala ako sa kanya. Pero, regardless naman sa sentiments natin, mag-i-investigate naman ang Manila RTC the judge, the executive judge of the Manila branch, because sa Manila pinanotarize, she will investigate. Babae yata yung executive judge.
Correct. Okay, bilang panghuli, sino pang gusto mo makita dito sa mga hearings? I mean, I believe it is wrapping up already in the Senate. Sa Kongreso, tinatanong nga namin si Kong Ridon kung talaga bang tapos na dahil ang dami pang lumalabas sa na findings. No? Are you happy with the way the investigation is going, with the ICI and the direction it is taking, and who else would you like to hear from?
Well, I think the Senate hearings should go on, no? Hindi pa dapat yan matapos kasi they are very transparent kahit na madaming problema sa Senate hearings. May issues, may concerns. Ang ICI kasi hindi publicize ang hearings. Meron na tayong mga progressives, good governance advocates who are calling on the ICI to hold transparent public hearings because syempre mababa ngayon yung confidence and trust ng tao sa gobyerno because they know parang halos lahat pala sangkot or halos lahat implicated. So kung hindi kasi transparent yan, ano yung natatago sa tao? Mahirap magtiwala. More than the Senate hearings and the ICI, Ms. Gretchen, I look forward more sa actions ng taong bayan. Kasi taong bayan naman sa kanilang mga rally at protesta ang makakapag-pressure sa gobyerno na talagang gawin ang tama. Napaka-successful ng September 21 rally. I hope the public is able, we, the public are able to sustain it kasi meron talagang outrage, fatigue, napapagod ang tao. Pero sana we sustain it because this is an issue that requires endurance. Kasi lahat sila corrupt eh. So kaya ang tao kailangan hindi mapagod.
At sana wag din po kayo mapagod. Fighting for the good. I'm sure you can also defend yourself. Ramdam na ramdam po namin ang inyong passion. No? But we'll leave you to that. Maraming salamat for joining us and giving your 2 cents on the latest happenings with the flood control probe. We have Attorney Jesus Falsis III.